everybody, and welcome to Peaches and Powerbombs. I am your host, Majestic Marie, and I have a special guest with me. I have Metal Geek from Geeking Out with Metal Geek podcast and a billion others that I'll let him explain here in a little while. But welcome to the show. I
Yeah.
appreciate you coming on with me.
Thank you so much for having me, Marie. It's what's going on, Geek Pit? How's it going, everybody? So, I got a couple of content coming up, but we'll discuss that a little bit later. We got we got the full gear card to discuss. So,
We do. It's going to be an interesting one to say the least. But we'll get into that in just a little bit. Before we do that, let's go ahead and take care of some business. Guys, make sure that you like, share, subscribe to the Peaches and Power Bombs if you haven't yet. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe to Metal Geek as well.
yeah,
Do all the things. Tell your friends about us that we are here to talk about AEW Full Gear, and we already have some comments. Christine is with us. Hello, Christine. Welcome to the show. And our friend Julian as well. Thank you so much for joining us. And so, are you ready to get hyped?
yeah. I'm super ready, but I just got one thing to say. It takes you 2 seconds just to hit the like button and make a comment, and you're going to be helping Marie out by so much just liking and commenting. You have no idea how much you're helping us out. And then, by the way, it's the best word. It's free.
Yay! We like free.
It's free. So, but yeah, let's
Well,
get started.
without further ado, let's get the Briscoe brothers to help us get ready for this show.
Ain't no way, chick. Ain't ready. There ain't no way, man. Ain't ready. Ain't no way y'all could possibly be ready.
You can say you're ready as many times as you want.
That's all I'm gonna tell you.
Y'all boys ain't ready.
There's no way, man. Talking about they anxious. You hear him, chick?
Hey,
Somebody losing sleep.
They losing sleep, baby. Man, I've been getting the best sleep of my life.
I've been snoring, baby.
Snoring,
I've been snoring.
dreaming about this ass.
Yeah.
I
Mark-
miss Jay all the time.
I got a question for you, Marie.
Yes.
So Mark Briscoe recently returned.
Yes.
Now, is there a possibility he goes after the Ring of Honor championship because he was owed a Ring of Honor championship match against Claudio?
Yes, actually, it would actually fit right in because Eddie was supposed to go after Claudio first before Mark, and then he couldn't because of his hernia surgery. So he did make a video saying, "Hey, chicken," because everybody calls him chicken. He goes, "Hey, make sure you go and kick his rear end for me, and beat it, do all the things." So they could tie it all in. They could tie it all in.
They
I
could
will not be about that
Yeah.
whatsoever. You know,
I don't think Eddie faced Mark ever in Ring of Honor.
Not one-on-one. He has in a tag team match.
Yeah, so that's what I'm saying. Like he hasn't faced him, so that would be a really good match for the title right there.
Yes, I think it was him and Homicide went up
Mhm.
against the Briscoe brothers.
Mhm.
So yeah, it would be really good.
Mhm.
I want to see those promos too. I want to see those promos.
Ray all day.
Oh no. He says, "What's up? Adam Cole is king. Orange is 25 pounds. I'm going to Worlds." In Lance, you going?
I'm trying to get tickets so to see the King MJF right there.
Oh,
Yeah.
I see what you did.
Uh-oh.
I see what you did. You're
Uh-oh.
gonna make Adam Ray come after you like this.
Fight me. Fight me. Fight me. Fight me. Don't fight me.
Okay, let's see. Alma is here as well. Hello, Alma.
What's up, everyone?
Okay, and that is you, I think. So, all right. So let's go ahead and get into this card, shall we?
Yep.
All right. So, first of all, I want to ask you, what do you think of the AEW product as a whole right now? It's been a little while since you've been on the show, and we haven't really talked much. So, what do you think of AEW right now?
The AEW has its ups and it has its downs.
Yeah.
There's just sometimes I could watch it and then sometimes I just want to change the channel. I'm sorry to all the AEW fans. I don't need the fight me button, but this is This is the truth right here. There was a lot of stuff that does not totally make sense. Like this past Wednesday, when Samoa Joe defended the Ring of Honor Championship, and then he drops it. To me, I'm not buying that. Can't doesn't somebody just want to be two champions for once? That doesn't make sense.
It doesn't make sense to me either. I can maybe understand, um, well, they haven't had Keith Lee on the show, and if they did have Keith Lee on the show, he's losing, so he doesn't look like. But if you're going to do that, you could have taken a few weeks to build Keith Lee up in order to make him look like he can beat Joe, and do it that way, or don't even have Keith Lee in that match and put somebody else there, like Shane Taylor or something, you know?
Here's my opinion on that one. I feel Keith Lee should have beat Samoa Joe. Samoa Joe could have beat MJF, and then Keith Lee could have said, "Hey, you remember I kind of pinned you 2 weeks ago," and you could set that story up,
Yeah.
something like that. This way,
Yeah.
Samoa Joe is not the champion. You know what I mean?
Right.
You could have done something. You just made Keith Lee look really, really bad. You
Yeah.
made Samoa Joe look really, really bad.
Yeah.
And just I mean, I know it's the scripting, but the way that he just dropped the title and said he doesn't want it anymore, that's the stupidest thing I've ever heard. It's
I
like,
mean, why wouldn't you want it? Why wouldn't you want to just be a champion, any kind of champion for as long as you can? I mean, it's silly. It's
yeah.
really silly. To me, it feels like in some in some areas you can tell that they do have a long-term plan for whatever it is that they're doing, and then others it just seems like they're winging it, and it's like a week by week thing, and I'm like, do y'all have any idea what you're doing over here with these guys? I don't know.
And not only that, you made the Ring of Honor TV championship look like a joke. Like it's a joke.
Right.
So you're trying to build up Ring of Honor as this brand, and you just forfeit the title like it's nothing. It's like
Yeah, I mean, and you could have built somebody with that pitting Joe or submitting or something. I don't not submitting, don't submit Samoa Joe, don't do that. But
no.
you could have done something with somebody with that, and it could have been, if it wasn't Keith Lee, it could have been Shane Taylor. A few weeks ago at the last pay-per-view, it could have been any number of things. And
Warlow.
I thought that they did a really good job with building up Shane Taylor towards that match, and I was convinced that he was going to win that title because it looked like they were trying to figure out how to get that title off of Joe to begin with, and they didn't do it.
You could have had Wardlow against Samoa Joe. That would have been a great match.
That would have been awesome.
You're building. They dropped the ball with Wardlow so much that I feel Wardlow's going to go to WWE and he's going to be a mega star in WWE.
I hope so. Somebody sees that Wardlow as something,
Mm-hmm.
But let's get into the matches that we do have.
All right, Texas.
First of all, this is something that I feel that they're actually doing well with is this Hangman Adam Page and Swerve Strickland stuff. At first, I thought that they were booking themselves into a corner and that both guys might end up looking bad because we were talking about Wardlow a while ago, and that Wardlow versus Powerhouse Hobbs stuff just made both guys look horrible. So I was like, oh no, are we going to get a part 2 of that? And no, both guys, this has actually been a lot of watch. I've really liked seeing Swerve in this. And so who do you have to win?
I feel Hangman needs this one. I feel ever since losing to Kenny Omega, he really needs something here. And they really dropped the ball on one of their top stars. And the thing is, I think Swerve will be fine if he could take the pinfall in this match. But I think Hangman needs to bounce back here, and he needs to start getting some wins again. Because
I agree with that, and I think that they can have, I don't know, something funky happen. It is a Texas death match after all, so anything goes, and we I don't know, they could do it in a way to not make Swerve look horrible, you know? It might have to take a whole lot for Adam Page to beat him, you know, so.
But I'm going to go with Hangman and Page on this one. I think that would be the right choice to put it. He needs because he needs this so much.
I'm not going to disagree with that, but I have a feeling that they're about to put the rocket onto Swerve's back, so I'm probably going to say Swerve on this.
Especially
one.
with the dancing, with the Nana dance, swerve.
I mean, you know, give the people what they want.
Exactly, because I was at the Grand Slam show. Like there was no Swerve. Nana came out, and the minute his music hit, he got a huge pop on Rampage, and then Nana just started doing the dance, and people just lost their minds. So yeah, I could see why Nana and Swerve are such a great mix together, and I'm so happy that Prince Nana is finally getting the recognition he deserves. He's such a great manager, and
He
he's
is.
a fantastic wrestler as well. And if they just let him talk, he'd be even better. Just let him talk. Just let the man talk. That's it.
Well, it's hard when Swerve can talk for himself too. So it's like, okay, how do you balance that out? And Nana gets to talk a little bit, just not as much as we would like to see, but at least he's there, and you know, at least he's with something that's working too.
If they actually let Nana just do a lot of the talking, he could be literally the next Paul Heyman. That's how good Prince Nana really is. Because I know his stuff from early Ring of Honor, his stuff was spot on, great. Even on commentary, he was great.
I haven't seen any of that, but I really like what I see so far with him on AEW. Ray says, Cole next champ. Why are the Bucks going heel? I don't know. We're about to talk about that mess in just a few minutes.
MJF, come on.
Shane says, I feel like AEW is pushing Daniel Garcia and his dance like WCW did Disco Inferno. Oh, gracious.
Oh my God. No.
His dance is dumb.
Did you see his dance with Tony or no?
No.
You did not see it?
No.
I'm surprised. During the commercial when they were switching over from Rampage to Dynamite, he asked Tony Khan to do a dance, and Tony did like this dab. It got people talking, and some people actually recorded it. It went viral. So
yeah. I bet it was funny though. I bet it was funny.
Yeah. That's
Christine says, AEW seems like there is no rhyme nor reason for what they're doing. Sometimes, yes, I agree with that. It's like they have amnesia or something each week, and they forget what they did the week before that, and it doesn't make any sense. Ray is asking, do you think Swerve will be champion? Oh, Adam Cole is king, of course. Yes.
No.
I think that Swerve will be champion one day. I don't think it's going to be like right now, but I do see him in a year or two. Yes, absolutely.
Do you think Billy Starks will be champion?
I don't know. She's with is she with Athena?
Yeah.
On Ring of Honor.
Yeah.
Okay. I think she, like with Nick Wayne, she's just got a lot to learn and things
she has
like
a lot
that.
of
She's
time.
very young.
She has a lot of time, you know?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. All right, next.
Chris Statlander, Julia Hart versus Sky Blue.
Yes. I don't know if the Sky Blue and Red Velvet match has happened yet or not. I didn't see, but this is the way they had it, the graphic on the AEW website as of 4:00 this afternoon. So if this is wrong, I apologize. So we're just going to pretend like that match hasn't happened yet, because that's the way that they're promoting it on their website. So,
Yeah. So, who do you got?
I think Sky Blue's probably going to win her match against Red Velvet because she's been more involved in the storyline than Red Velvet has, if I'm not mistaken. Is that correct?
I think Sky Blue. Yeah.
Yeah, so I have a feeling it'll be Statlander, Julia Hart, Sky Blue. And I would honestly have Julia Hart win it.
Yeah.
She's got a lot going for her, and she's done a lot of character development in the past, year or so. And I think it's time to have her run with it.
Here's my thing on it. If they're gonna pull the trigger on the Sky Blue heel turn, I think Julia Hart may actually win.
Okay.
That's only if they're gonna pull the trigger, because I'm just gonna say this right now. I think the money's on Chris Statlander to retain the title.
Okay.
So it depends which way they're gonna go with this. So, but my answer is
I
Chris Statlander.
I haven't seen a whole lot of this because this has really been tucked away on Rampage, and I just don't get a chance to watch Rampage. And because I have, you pick and choose what you watch because there's so much wrestling out there, it's almost impossible to watch it all. So I have to pick and choose what you watch, but I do try to keep up with what they're doing, especially with the women on AEW, because they don't get the time and the attention that they deserve. So what they do for them, I try to keep up with that. So, in all honesty, any of these three winning, I would not have an issue with whatsoever. Maybe a little early for Sky Blue, but it really wouldn't hurt my feelings if she did win. I just think it's time for Julia Hart. I don't know. She's just shown a whole lot of growth and character, showing a good character and everything. And she's not bad in the ring either. So I think it might be her time.
Yeah. Also, not only that, I don't want to break kayfabe here, but the AEW is trying to load up on Long Island. So Chris Statlander's another Long Islander right there. So
okay.
So if they're trying to stack the deck right there with all the Long Island champions going into at World's End.
Yeah. But what you're predicting for the other match could happen here too.
Don't say it, yeah.
Okay. All right, we'll just have to see. All right, let's see what we have. All right, I don't see anything else. Next up, we have a 4-way dance for the tag team championships. Ricky Starks and Big Bill versus FTR versus LFI versus the House of Black.
I'm gonna say FTR on this one.
You're gonna say FTR?
Mm-hmm.
Now, which two of the House of Black is it? Is it Brody and Malachi, or is it Brody and Buddy, or is it Malachi and
That's what I want to know.
It wasn't clear on the poster who it was, so because they showed all three of them, and I'm like, really?
maybe it's a guessing game.
Yeah, maybe it'll be like free, the Freebird rule or whatever.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Even though they have trio belts.
Yeah.
What do you think of the trio? Like, do you think the introduction of the trio belts have hurt the tag team division? Because before then, the AEW tag team division was very strong.
I think the biggest thing that hurt the trios belt was the whole suspension thing.
Really?
When they introduced.
Well, I meant the trio belts hurting the tag team division.
I really liked the House of Black with those belts, actually. The trios belts. That was really good.
Yeah. And I'm not mad at the Acclaimed having them, but they're not really doing anything with it. So it's just they're coming out there and being they used to be the cool thing, right?
Yeah.
And now they're just,
I think,
not even silly in a good way, but just plain out. They're almost coming off as dumb. Let's be honest.
Yeah.
And it's like kind of standoffish dumb too. Like, This is not the way to go. And I'm a little sad because I love the Acclaimed.
I think, to be honest, in my honest opinion, I think the Acclaimed were better off as like the chasers than the champions, if that makes sense. Like,
Well, they had a good run with the tag team belts when it was just Bowens and Caster.
yeah,
But I don't, and I did like the chase towards the trios belt, but it's like after they got him, it's like they're just kind of sitting there and with him and, chasing after the love and affection of MJF. And it's like, okay, guys, y'all are champions.
all fellow Long Islanders right there. Well, I don't know about Bowens, but I know Caster's a fellow Long Islander.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean, your MJF shouldn't be disgusted with having the trios champions on his team. So I didn't.
better than Samoa Joe trying to challenge him for the title. So you know what I mean.
But as far as this goes, I don't know. If it goes back to FTR, was there a point in them losing it to Ricky and Big Bill to begin with?
I think my personal opinion, FTR has been the best champions.
Yeah,
The best tag team champions in AEW's history.
I agree with that.
Mhm.
I agree with that.
They've never had a bad match with those tag titles, so I think they should win it back. So I'm going to go with FTR on this one.
And we do have the Young Bucks sitting on a championship opportunity at some point. And FTR are baby faces, and if they're trying to turn the Bucks heel, I guess we could get FTR versus the Bucks Part 4. Do you want to see that match again?
Again, it won't be a bad match. So it's going to be like, speak on this one. How many times have we seen the Young Bucks versus the Briscoe brothers?
I'm not sure.
We've seen them so many times, and every single time, the Briscoes and the Young Bucks always put on a classic. So if they're going to continue to put on great and amazing matches, just keep going with FTR and the Young Bucks, you know?
Yeah. Well, I mean, and how many times back in the day did we see the Hardy Boys versus the Dudley Boys versus Edge and Christian, and we were just sitting there taking it because it was all good, right?
Yeah,
So
exactly. So if it's working, just keep going with it, you know?
FTR makes the most sense because I don't see the Young Bucks caring about anybody else, but unless they just do a I want your title thing.
Yeah.
I need a little bit more than that sometimes.
Are they still the EVPs or?
Yes.
Yeah. So I was because I was a little confused because some people have been saying Young Bucks don't have authority anymore or something like that.
Well,
It's
they
more
were
Tony.
the title on the roster page was taken off for a moment of time, I think, because they were the Ring of Honor champions. And then they put it back once they lost those titles. So I think it was just they didn't have the room to put it on in their roster page, but it shouldn't even be a part of their thing on the roster page because that is strictly for their character and stuff like that. And I don't think their characters should be EVPs, but
Yeah.
that's just me being nitpicky though.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what people are up to. Shane is asking, are y'all invested in the Ruby Soho love story? I want to see where they go with it. Oh, somebody sent her flowers or something. I saw a clip of it. I don't know. Like she has a secret admirer or something like that. I don't know. Y'all asking me questions from Rampage. That's the Do you know anything about this?
No idea, nothing.
Okay. Alma says that she thinks that Starks and Big Bill for the win. I mean, it is a possibility. Anything can happen. Is there anyone who is basically in charge of the women's division? No. Nope. And you can tell. And she also says someone else needs the trios belts. I don't think that someone else needs them, but something needs to happen with them. Like someone needs to come after the Acclaimed and make them, I don't know, serious again. And they were never like 100% serious, but a little bit more serious.
There's a lot of better tag teams than they claimed. I'm sorry. I don't want to get. I don't. I don't want to get the heat, but there
Oh
are.
yeah, I mean technically yeah, but they have personality and I like to see them, but they have just gotten way too far on the silly side of things.
Mhm.
And I'm not a fan of like wrestling being 100% serious all the time, but you can go a little too far with the silly.
My favorite trios were actually the Elite and the House of Black.
Mm. I do like the House of Black.
Yeah, those are my favorite trios right there. Or if somehow CM Punk could come back, we could get CM Punk FTR with the trios belts.
I was hoping that they were going to do something like that before all the funny business happened.
How shocking would it be if people are expecting CM Punk at Survivor Series and he shows up in AEW?
Well, some people are thinking that he's the devil.
He
The
did
guy
say
that
he did say it. He for people that know his one of his last feuds before going to WWE, he did say he was the devil.
yeah. Yeah, and MJF always references like uses
That
bits
promo.
of that. I don't know. CM Punk is a big troll and he hints at all kinds of stuff. He's been hinting at like stuff for Survivor Series and hinting at stuff for AEW. So he's playing the wrestling world very very well.
What if CM Punk is MJF's tag team partner?
I don't know.
What if he is the one that gets that belt at the end?
That's funny. I don't know.
People are like, yes. See, they're agreeing with me. He's going to be his tag team partner. They're agreeing. CM Punk could be MJF's tag team partner.
Hmm.
Because remember, what would we call them? The Devils?
I don't know.
MJF claims he's the devil. CM Punk claims he's the devil. There you go.
Who knows?
Uh-huh.
I don't know. CM Punk is going to do what CM Punk wants to do, and no one's going to find out until he's ready for people to find out. So we're
I
just going to have to wait and see.
I just want. I told you what I want. I just want him to troll WWE so much that he's going back, and he ends up in AEW at Full Gear.
I think that I think he would do better in AEW than he would in WWE. And I think AEW needs him more than WWE does because I don't know if you. I'm probably going to get in trouble
He
for this.
fits AEW more than he fits WWE because AEW is more the anti-establishment, and so that is CM Punk as well. So he fits that character very well more than he would fit as the corporate suit in WWE. This is
Right.
just my opinion.
And I don't know, Collision, before Punk got fired was so much better than Collision now. It's like Rampage with 2 hours. It's uh
Now I feel like CM Punk needs like to come back and just make amends with Kenny Omega and the Young Bucks, and we need to get that CM Punk and FTR versus the Young Bucks match that we all wanted. It's like,
versus the Elites, yeah.
yeah, just shut up and let's all make money together. That's all I
Right,
said.
exactly.
That's all I say. But that's egos right now. But you gotta remember, business is business, and people will
Right.
do anything for money. So
Right.
so
And maybe them seeing right now how things are kind of going downhill for AEW a little bit right now. Ticket sales aren't all that great. Their viewership is not all that great and everything. Maybe they can swallow their pride a little bit and be like, yeah, we kind of need, he was right. He was right. Our way of doing things is not best for business. But oh gosh, Christine, no, 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 no.
Jungle Boy versus CM Punk. Yes, right. We need it.
No, she was saying
We need
Jungle
a.
Boy as the guy in the mask. No, no, I do not want him in the devil mask. Though, no, that would be horrible.
It's Kenny Omega, isn't it?
I would take that over Jungle Boy.
Kenny Omega versus MJF again, please. Let's make it happen in Long Island.
All right, let's move on. The other women's match on the card. The women's title, Hikaru Shida versus Toni Storm. I love Toni Storm right now. What do you think about her Marilyn Monroe character right now?
Here's my pick right now. I'm just gonna say Sheeta is amazing. She's an amazing worker. But I'm just gonna say this right now. I feel it's Tony's time right now. She's shining with that Marilyn Monroe character, and the shoe is probably one of the best things happening in wrestling right now. So
Right.
I'm gonna go with Toni Storm on this one.
I'm going to agree with you. This is not a knock on Hikaru Shida. She's always right there when they need somebody, to hold the title or to have really great matches and to do what needs to be done for the women's division. So I don't want to take anything from her. She was champion during a really difficult time during the pandemic. So I want to give all the props and all the flowers to Hikaru Shida because she does deserve that. But however, like you said, Toni Storm is the talk of the women's division right now. She's kind of carrying the thing, let's be honest. She's the most interesting woman. She might be one of the most interesting people on the whole roster, men included. So I'm going to go with her too. I think she would do a whole lot of good for that women's division and really make it something that people want to see.
And the belt will look good with her in black and white too.
Oh yeah, yeah.
So
Yep.
I'm gonna say Toni Storm. It's her time, and this is not a knock on like a shooter, like I said, because I know people are gonna say, well, she's a former WWE wrestler, but Toni Storm is doing really. It doesn't matter because Toni Storm is killing it right now with that gimmick. So
Well, we've never seen. She wasn't ever like this on WWE, so it's not like it's the same old same old. She's totally reinvented herself.
Uh-huh.
And I did not know I had a clip of this, but here we go.
Say, chin up, tits out, and watch for the shoe. Oh,
I didn't know I had that.
that's great. That gimmick is great, and those lines are great, and that needs to be a shirt too.
Yeah. I mean, no one would be able to wear it, but
No one will be able to wear that, especially the kids that are going to like school. They won't be able to wear that shirt. They'll probably be sent home from the principal right there.
right. Them and that one in the Acclaimed shirt is like, no, don't wear that.
It's just like the DX shirt back in the day when they had the whole suck it shirts,
Yeah.
back in the day. Like it's like what Billy said. Oh wow, another shirt you could get sent home from school from.
Yeah, Billy Gunn sending kids home for 30 years. Oh, fun stuff. Okay. Now moving on to something I have no idea why this is happening. Okay, if you don't know, guys, the Golden Jets is Kenny Omega and Chris Jericho. Because if Chris Jericho tags with someone, he has to put a stupid name on it.
Oh my god!
Huh.
But sorry. Go ahead.
I don't know why this is happening.
I know exactly why.
Why is this happening?
Why is this happening? It's because it's the Young Bucks going once again against Kenny Omega. And we need to rehash this just like we did in New Japan, just like we did in AEW, because it's Young Bucks. Anything Young Bucks and Kenny Omega is gold right there. Because we had Kota Ibushi and Kenny Omega against the Young Bucks in New Japan. Then we had Adam Page and Kenny Omega against the Young Bucks. So they're trying to rehash this and create another 5-star match out of this. And Chris Jericho, one of the goats of all time in this match. This match is going to be awesome.
Okay.
What's your opinion on this one?
I think that it wouldn't be so off-putting if they didn't have 70 other, your 70 other, um my mind went blank, sorry. 70 other storylines around friendship. So, "Oh, no, he's my friend. No, he's my friend." Like, fighting over Kenny Omega or something. "No, you're with us. You're supposed to be elite. You're not supposed to be with him. Me, 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 me." And I'm just like, why do we have to do this all the time? Can we come up with something else? Can there be another storyline besides just friendship all the time?
Not only
That's
that,
number 1.
not only that, the part of Kota Ibushi is being played by Chris Jericho.
I
Because
guess.
they're the real best friends right there, Kenny Omega and Kota Ibushi. So
Well, and it doesn't even make sense for Kenny Omega and Chris Jericho to be tag teaming anyway, because they had this long history together and they shouldn't like each other. They shouldn't like each other. Now I understand why they tagged against like the Don Callis family, right? Because they had a common enemy, but it should have been like, okay, we're just doing this to take care of a common problem, but after that it's over because I hate your guts. But that's not the way it's happening. They just decided to go off all with this. And Jericho seems to do this all the time anyway. He picks somebody and he tags with them and he puts a stupid name with it.
So we're getting Kota Ibushi tomorrow night on Dynamite, but they're not getting him for the pay-per-view.
Well, he could. Do you think he's going to show up though?
He has to, some way he has to be there, just because I don't know when he's going home.
Yeah.
Just that's the timing, but you couldn't get Kota Ibushi just for the pay-per-view. Is what I'm trying to say, because he's Kenny Omega's real best friend right there.
Right.
Yeah. So, but
So, do you see Kota Ibushi, perhaps if he does make an appearance at the pay-per-view during this match, do you see him helping Kenny Omega or helping the Young Bucks?
you want to know my honest opinion?
Yes.
We're going to get the swerve of the century right here.
Okay.
Chris Jericho is going to turn heel on Kenny Omega and join forces with the Young Bucks.
Okay.
And then Kota Ibushi is going to come out.
Okay.
And we're going to get that match.
Okay. Didn't Chris Jericho just turn face like 2 months ago?
He's the Big Show. It's every 2 weeks he'll turn back and forth.
Okay.
It's AEW. They don't know what they're doing right now. So
And Chris Jericho can't just be Chris Jericho. He has to be aligned with someone at all times, right?
Yeah.
Okay. What happened to Chris Jericho anyway? Has he lost his mind?
Yeah. He has to be first it was man, I forgot his first tag team name.
With
the inner circle. The inner circle. That was it.
yeah,
And
there
then
was the inner circle, and then when it was just him and Sammy Guevara, they were the Sex Gods or something.
Then no, we had the Jericho Appreciation Society.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And him and Daniel Garcia were called something, and I can't remember what it was. And then now we have the Golden Jets. But he's always like names, though. He's always like names. Like with
Jericho.
Yeah, Jericho, and then like him and yeah. Him and AJ, they were a tag team for like 3 seconds, and they had a shirt for 3 seconds, and it was Y2AJ.
And why I say that Jericho's going to join with the Young Bucks is because Young Bucks are about to turn heel.
Yeah.
And they're going against Chris Jericho and Kenny Omega. Chris Jericho and Kenny Omega hate each other.
Yeah, they're supposed to.
So wouldn't it make sense for Chris Jericho just to turn heel on Kenny Omega?
Maybe.
I swear, if I'm right, you're gonna be like, "You were right, geek, the whole time." Yeah, because the
Yeah,
swerve, it's the swerve
I
is.
will give you your props if it happens. I will give you
uh,
your props.
I'm gonna say,
Christine says yes to Tony Storm,
who
and
do I?
she says sounds like junior high for real. AEW is junior high right now.
Who do I have? I'm gonna have the Young Bucks on this one.
Uh, I'm gonna say the Young Bucks too because they're probably going to be going after the tag titles and coming up soon. If it, you could have them just like the Golden Jets losing just straight up and having Jericho blame Kenny Omega. You could do that too. I mean, that's tired, but
I
I
mean,
would rather what you were saying.
you could also have the Golden Jets go after FTR.
No,
No, no, or
no,
no.
no. See, the thing is that Kenny Omega does not need to be in a tag team. And there is data proving this that when he is in a singles competition, the ratings are up. When he is with the elite or in a tag team, the ratings go down. So you need to have Kenny Omega be a really big single star for your show.
Here's a belt I want to see Kenny Omega win that he's never held. You know where I'm going with this. Uh-oh. I'm gonna get the fight me button.
You gonna say it? I know what you're about to say.
He's never held the Ring of Honor championship before, so
Fight me! Fight me! Fight me! Fight me! Fight me! Don't fight me!
Kenny Omega and Eddie.
I would really like to see Eddie versus Kenny Omega. I don't know if I've ever seen that. Have they wrestled before?
I think they might have, but it might have been a long time ago. But
Okay.
that would be really, really good to see Kenny Omega with the Ring of Honor championship to elevate that title.
No, I didn't say he should win. I didn't say he should win.
He's never held the Ring of Honor championship before, so
So, so
he's never held it. So that's another belt he could win. He won the Impact title. He's never held the Ring of Honor title.
Mm. Mm-mm-mm.
I mean, Cody's held it.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
I thought Kenny did win it at one point. I guess not though. He's always been in he was more of a New Japan person.
Yeah, he won the what did he win? He's won the trios titles
Okay.
in Ring of Honor, so with the
Well,
elite.
speaking of trios match, we have
man.
Christian and Luchasaurus and Nick Wayne versus Darby Allin, Sting, and Adam Copeland, also known as Edge. What do you think of Adam? What was your reaction to Adam Copeland coming to AEW? And do you think that what do you think of his run so far?
So we're talking about Nick Wayne's dad, Christian.
Yes, Daddy
So-
Warbucks over there
Yeah. But
taking in all the little orphans.
yeah, so I guess he's Bruce Wayne then, all right?
Sure,
Right?
put some
But,
muscle
yeah.
on that kid first.
But anyway, I feel Edge has done everything he needed to do in WWE, and this is no disrespect to him,
Mhm.
but he's never worked outside a company for like 30, 40 years. So I think it's a perfect time for him to do something different, lock it up with some of the great top talent. But I feel right now he's just back where he started, working with Christian again.
Is that such a bad thing, though?
There's so much other talent out there. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but it's okay to kind of because he hasn't ever interacted with any of the other guys. There's no history to really play off. So them playing off of this first and maybe eventually maybe leading to them doing something together at the very end, but like having those as the bookends. the beginning of his AEW and the end, right?
Uh-huh.
And this is just a way to introduce him into the company. Everybody knows he has history with Christian and everything. He doesn't have history with a whole lot of people in there. So I think it's a perfect introduction because
Great.
it's such an easy story to tell. So
It,
you wouldn't have to work so hard.
exactly. And the matches that Edge could have in AEW are just like dream matches, man. We could see Christian and Edge team up like the face of the Young Bucks, which that's a match that's probably going to happen eventually.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's not like this is the only thing we're ever going to see him do in AEW. He's there for a few years. So it's not like he's just going to be feuding with Christian the whole time. At least I hope not. But this is just a good introduction thing and just to get him started. And then we can lead on. I don't know. I mean, I would like to see him face Darby Allin. So maybe that we could see that stem off of this at some point. I don't
Maybe
know.
he could face Jericho again. No, you don't want to see Edge and Jericho again?
No.
No.
I think Jericho needs to go away for a little while and then come back. Because he's getting that I don't want him on my television screen right now. I'm kind of sick of him a little bit. I everything that he's put out has just not been all that great lately. So
His stuff has lately gotten goofy. You know what I mean?
yeah, it's
Compared to when he first debuted in AEW,
yeah.
he was that dark heel. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Didn't say much words. Just went to the ring. Did his
Yeah.
thing, and that was it.
And I think it's because Jericho is so creative and he has all of these ideas and he's trying to do everything. See, before when he was in WWE, there was a person there saying yes, yes to this and no, no to that. Well, he doesn't have a leash on him in AEW. He can do whatever he wants.
Yeah.
So everything that pops into that man's head is what he's just like, oh, we should do this. Oh, we should do that. Oh, he's like, squirrel, 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 And I'm like, you got to stay focused, Don't just go off on every little idea you have there, dude. And I think that's the problem.
Uh-huh.
And plus he's getting older and he's trying to keep up with the younger guys and he's trying to prove it to himself that he can still go 55,000 miles a minute. So
Especially with Nick Gage.
yeah.
I'll never forget that match. I would never think I would ever see Chris Jericho in a glass match, ever, at his age.
Yeah. He's crazy.
He's crazy to work with, Nick Gage,
But anyway, I see Darby Allin, Sting, and Adam Copeland win this one.
It does make sense because he just returned. Or could Christian get the upper hand till he could keep going? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
The heels always have to get that upper hand.
That's right.
Just to keep the story going.
That's
so
true.
I'm going to say Christian, Luchasaurus, Nick Wayne.
That makes more sense. There's 3 of them too, and they could pin Darby or something.
Yeah.
So.
They only depend. They could protect Sting. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yep. Sting. What do you want? I know this isn't on the card or anything, but Sting's last match is going to be billed for Revolution 2024. What do you want to see from that? Where do you think it's going?
Where do I think it's going to go?
Yeah.
There's only one person to end Sting's career, and that's Ric Flair. The only person who could do it. The only person who could do it. One more time, Ric Flair and Sting. It's going to happen. Ric Flair's here, so I feel it needs to happen.
Girl.
No?
Ric Flair.
Comments think? Do people?
Ric Flair almost died the last time he tried to wrestle.
But who did he try to wrestle? Jarrett and Jay Lethal.
Yeah, Jarrett is like 63, 59 or something. I don't know. He's older than. No.
No, you don't.
No, it should not be Ric Flair. It should be Darby Allin.
You think Darby? Dude, are you trying to kill Sting? Is that what you're trying to do?
No.
To make it his very final match that he can't
Yeah.
walk anymore.
They don't have to do all that crazy stuff.
Darby's gonna go all the way because you know Darby.
I think Darby would be a little I think he would be aware of the situation and he
So,
wouldn't.
so in my opinion, do you think Darby is the one that turns heel on Sting?
Yeah, you can't turn someone heel for their very last match. No one's going to boo him.
Can't yeah. I mean that's true too. You know.
No one's going to boo Sting for his last match.
No, I'm saying Darby. Do you turn Darby heel?
Yeah. If
Yeah.
you have to have a clear face and heel for that situation.
I still think it's Ric Flair. It's the perfect way to end the career.
It doesn't need to happen. I don't want to have one of those situations where it was, what were you doing the night that Ric Flair died in the ring? No thanks. That's a liability.
It's a liability to put Darby in there with Sting as well.
Not as much as Ric Flair. Not as much as Ric Flair. And remember that Sting's been in the ring with some high flyers like Sammy Guevara and the Private Party and all of them who like to do all the crazy stuff too. So, Swerve Strickland.
And he's been put through a table too.
Mm-hmm. Several.
Multiple times.
Yeah. Okay. We have the International Championship with Orange Cassidy versus Jon Moxley. Julian a while ago asked if Moxley was returning, and I was waiting until we got here. So if you're gone, Julian, I'm sorry. I'm finally answering your question. But yes, he's back. He's been back for a little hot minute. I've actually liked their little feud that they've had. It's been a little long, but I liked it. I liked their match that they had was it at Wrestle Dream?
Wrestle Dream.
Yeah, I actually liked it.
No, all in.
All in, okay.
Because I was actually there when Jon Moxley got dropped right in his head. That was the most scary.
Oh, that was that night, wasn't it?
That was the most scariest thing I think I've ever seen. People
It
were
happened
worried. Jon
twice.
Moxley did not get up till during the commercial break, and they were
Yeah.
checking on him. Really, really scary stuff, and just and the fact that he did it twice to Jon Moxley was even worse.
Mhm.
So, but
I'm glad Mox ended up being okay after that. I mean, he still had a concussion and he wasn't okay, but you know what I mean. But
yeah.
it could have been a whole lot worse.
Mhm.
Yeah, it was scary. It was scary. And I think that's it's kind of opened Mox's eyes a little bit more about trying to be safe and, having protocols in order that if something like that happens that they need to call the match. He has said that they need to start making those protocols happen, and I think that he's right. Those things should be in place so where no one gets hurt because he couldn't tell. He was so out of it. There ain't no way he could communicate with Ray Phoenix and telling him that he was hurt. So, and honestly, I'm put the majority of the blame actually on the referee. He should have been aware of what was going on too.
He should have counted the 1, 2, 3 immediately as soon as he noticed Jon Moxley was not getting up.
Yeah.
Just a good referee knows to change a spot on the fly.
Yep.
Like if you notice that someone's not putting their shoulder up,
Mhm.
don't make it so obvious. Just count the 3. That's
Right.
it.
Right.
Change the finish of the match. That's what a professional referee does.
Yep. 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 I think because Jon Moxley wasn't supposed to lose the title, I see him getting the title back.
I'm gonna say Orange Cassidy's taking this one.
Okay.
I still think they need something to prove with him. They're still building him. I feel, and he's got a lot to prove to John Moxley. So I feel Orange Cassidy needs to win this match.
Okay. It wouldn't hurt.
Yeah.
I will say this. I give Orange Cassidy a whole lot of flack because sometimes the silly goofy is just, sometimes it's just, I don't really care for what he does sometimes. But I will give him this. While his first run with that title, and he kept winning and winning and winning and winning, he actually did a really good job of building up that title and making it mean something. I mean, but now before Christian got the TBS title, I would have argued with you that the international championship means more than the TBS title did.
Yeah.
But now that Christian's got it, he's doing the same thing with it.
You mean the TNT?
TNT. I'm sorry. TBS is women's.
TBS is women's. I was gonna say, are we talking about Chris Statlander or Christian Cage?
And it's funny too because they're on that the TNT title is mostly on Dynamite, which is on TBS, and the TBS title is mostly on Rampage, and it's on TNT.
That does not make sense.
I know, it's crazy.
But yeah, I still think Orange Cassidy's got a lot to prove. I feel he needs to win this one, especially his match with Will Ospreay earlier this year, which a lot of people were doubting on Orange Cassidy, saying, "Oh, why'd they have to waste Will Ospreay on Orange Cassidy?" The match was really good and probably match of the night. If you remember that match.
I remember that match happening.
Yeah. So
I don't remember thinking it was a waste or not.
Mm-hmm. No, but a lot of people were saying that before the match even happened.
They have similar styles. Why would that be a waste?
No.
Christine says Jericho has multiple personality disorder. He can. Julian said I wasn't sure. I'm picking Moxley. And Shane says Orange Cassidy is the wrestler of the year. There is no one even close. I don't know who I would pick as wrestler of the year. I think Orange Cassidy is the wrestler of the AEW for the year.
I think Will Ospreay is killing it right now. It's probably my favorite wrestler.
That's cool.
Especially having 6- and 7-star matches in Impact Wrestling with Mike Bailey. So
cool
which I didn't see, but I heard the match was amazing. His matches with Shingo Takagi, his match with Okada earlier this year. Will Ospreay is probably one of the best wrestlers this year.
I'm going to say for All In, I was not looking forward to Will Ospreay versus Chris Jericho because Jericho does have a bad habit of trying to keep up but they actually worked a really good match to Chris Jericho's strengths instead of his weaknesses. And I actually enjoyed it a whole lot. It was pleasantly surprising to me. Mm-hmm. Next up, we're in the main event era. I'm talking about our good friend MJF, our scumbag, the people scumbag.
He represents the people of Long Island, New York.
So y'all are all scumbags up there? I'm just kidding. I'm kidding.
A lot of us, to be honest, a lot of us are scumbags up in Long Island, New York. So you got to be careful. I'm being honest.
I'm not going to say I doubt that.
New York is one of the roughest. Have you watched any of the Grand Slams? How rough they were?
Yeah, I've seen
half of the Ring of Honor pay-per-views when they come to New York.
Mm-hmm.
We're pretty rough up there. So I would say we're a bunch. Yeah.
I spent about 4 or 5 days up there when I was in college. So yeah. I stayed in my groups and I didn't go off on my own because I was too scared. But that was before it got really bad. It was it was clean, and I don't think it is anymore. No. But I had a good time.
Especially, I mean, Long Island's not that bad, but if you go up into the city,
yeah, that's where I was.
you have to be very careful to going up into the city. So travel
Yeah,
in groups.
I was in a big group. I was in a university choir, my
Uh-huh.
university's choir, and we sung at Carnegie Hall. So we stayed in the city, but there was like 20 of us, so we were in a big group all the time. We had a good time though. We did have a good time. Anyway, we have this: the Honor Tag Team Championships, the Guns versus MJF and somebody.
I already predicted who was going to be that somebody. It's not going to be the Acclaimed. It's not going to be Samoa Joe.
You don't think so? Because it's too obvious.
It is way too obvious that's going to be the Acclaimed.
Okay, well, I don't remember if you said who you thought it was going to be on air or off, because we talked about it both times, so I don't remember. Who do you think it's going to be?
It's going to be CM Punk and MJF.
You think it's just going to be CM? I hope you're right. I really do.
He's going to put the biggest screws to all the fans and can I say the word marks?
Yes.
that think he's going to be at Survivor Series. Oh, Survivor Series in Chicago. We're all going to see CM Punk. Nope. He's going to tag with MJF, and he's going to shock everybody and put everybody in their place. Because it would be so obvious if he showed up in Survivor Series in Chicago.
Right.
I think AEW needs CM Punk. I think CM Punk needs AEW. I think he shows up at the pay-per-view.
That would be so great. I would be so happy if it was him. I'm a big CM Punk fan. I'm not going to lie. And while I think some of the things that happened, I think he didn't handle the situation correctly, I still can understand where he was coming from, because he has that old school mentality, right? You know, and everything. So I can see where he's coming from. And yes, AEW desperately needs him. And I think he's a better fit for them as well than he is in WWE. And but if he is going to WWE, I don't see him going to I don't see him appearing at Survivor Series, because like you said, it would be too obvious. If I was WWE and I signed him, I would wait until the Rumble. But that might just be because I'm going to be at the Rumble, and that's but
Rumble's going to be in Florida. All right.
yes. But
Maybe Metal
yeah.
Geek shows up at the Rumble.
Yeah, well, Majestic Marie will be there too. So, but yeah, if it's CM Punk, I'll lose my mind. I would be so happy if because I would rather see him in AEW than WWE, even though I would be excited about him being there too. But I think it's a better fit over there.
And now here's another question: why do you think they're waiting to save it for the pay-per-view? That's another thing. If it's the Acclaimed, if it's Samoa Joe, they would just announce it already.
Well, see, they did the same thing like a week or so ago. Like, who is MJF's mystery partners for this trios tag team match thing with the the Bullet Club? And it was just the Acclaimed, and you're like, oh, it's just the Acclaimed.
Here's a really good one. Here's another one. A swerve. What if his tag team partner is Jay White?
That would be fun. That would be fun.
That would be
What
interesting.
if it's
right?
Adam Cole?
It could be Adam Cole too.
What if Adam Cole's injury was exaggerated? I'm not saying it was fake, but what if it was exaggerated?
Adam.
Oh gosh.
I love that. That needs to be a shirt.
Okay, whoever it is, what needs to happen first is Roderick Strong needs to come out and try to be the tag team partner, and the real person who it is just comes out and just bulldozes right over him and takes the spot. And then he crawls to the back going, Adam! Oh, silly. Silly.
It's got to be somebody big because why would they save it for the pay per view? Or not just maybe they'll announce it tomorrow.
Shane, that
It,
would make me happy because MJF is my second favorite person in AEW, but it wouldn't really make much sense unless he agrees to give Eddie Kingston a title shot afterwards. And then Eddie Kingston becomes the Ring of Honor and the AEW World Championship.
it could happen in Long Island.
Yeah, it's not gonna happen. So, but it would make me happy anyway, but nobody else but me.
It would be interesting if it was Jay White because then he would just turn on MJF and the Guns would win the ROH tag titles.
Yeah, but I don't see MJF picking him. But speaking of Mr. Jay White, MJF is pulling double duty that night like he has been. He's been kind of running, carrying the show. He's been the most interesting. Beside him and Tony Storm have been the two most interesting things on the whole show. Everything else seems like a mess, but MJF and Tony Storm has not failed to entertain and be interesting. So, how do you see this match goes without this?
without without Jay White being MJF's tag team partner, or are we?
Oh, not involving the Ring of Honor tag team. Do you think he loses one and keeps the other? Do you see him losing both? Do you see him winning both?
I see him losing it.
Both?
No, one.
Just this
Oh,
one?
wait. Hold on. Like I said, it all depends on what the circumstances AEW wants to go here.
Okay.
Because if they want MJF, it all depends on TikTok because 2024 is right around the corner. It depends what they want to do. If MJF re-signed his contract,
Yeah.
the best thing to do is for Jay White to win this match.
Right.
And for MJF to get the rematch in Long Island as a babyface. But if MJF doesn't resign his contract, the best thing to do is to have his last match in Long Island with the world title. So it all depends what they want to do.
Yeah, they're being oddly secretive about whether he signed or not.
Mm-hmm.
I would have thought that if he did sign, they would be putting that information out there. But then again, it keeps everybody interested without anyone knowing if he signed or not in what he's doing. Because if they just announced it, I guess they'd be like, "Oh well, you know." But our eyes are peeled to this because we're like, okay, is this the telling factor? Are we gonna be able to know what he did? Watching this.
And MJF and Jay White is, by the way, a dream match, by the way, because Jay White is pretty much the New Japan version of MJF.
Kind of, yeah.
So, like the way that he cuts some of the greatest promos, especially during the pandemic in New Japan.
Mm-hmm.
I just can't wait to see this match, and I think this match is going to be another classic right here.
I think so too. Jay White has become very quickly one of my favorites. I didn't really know much about him until last year, like last October, following through about February. He started in stories with Eddie Kingston and everything, and of course, I follow Eddie around everywhere. So I watched that entire little brick from October to February, and his match with Eddie in February, this past February at Battle of the Valley, is one of my favorite matches. Probably my favorite Eddie Kingston match. So he's really great, and I'm excited about this too. I'm happy he's in AEW.
My favorite's the one with him versus Claudio from Grand Slam.
Mm.
That reaction that he got when he won and when he came out was probably one of the best reactions of the night.
Yeah, I wish I was debating. I wanted to go and be there so bad, but I was like, oh, it's just not in the cards. I can't swing it. But yeah, I wish I could have felt that energy of him winning.
I wonder, was Ray there? Was Ray all day there?
He
He was
was.
there. He was
Mhm.
there. All right. He witnessed the greatness right there. Right. But yeah, that
Shane, stop it. No.
he's gonna. Jack Perry's the one under the devil's mask. What if it's
No.
MJF? What if it's MJF in the devil's mask? And he swerved us all.
That would be better than Jack Perry. It wouldn't be a great option, but it would be better than Jungle Boy.
Because
Ugh.
remember, he said he himself, he's the devil.
Yeah.
He is the devil.
Alma says that MJF is going to win.
But like I said, it all depends. So I'm gonna stick to my gut and say MJF's win this one.
I think he's going to lose the Ring of Honor tag team titles, but keep his AEW world title.
The Guns were doing so good as champions, by the way, AEW tag team champions. So I think to give them the Ring of Honor tag team titles is another test for them. So
Yeah. Yep. And MJF hasn't appeared on any Ring of Honor shows or anything with that, so sending the Guns down there to be on their shows would be good.
Uh-huh.
Plus, you can't have one person defending the titles by themselves. You would just destroy your tag team division doing that. Like, all these teams are getting beat by one person.
all right,
Not good.
let's pick the main event for at World's End if we could predict the match. It's going to involve
MJF versus whoever the guy in the devil mask is. If they reveal who that is.
If it's going to be CM Punk.
Yeah.
All right.
It's going to be CM Punk.
It's going to be CM Punk, right?
I hope so. I don't know. With CM Punk, you never know.
CM Punk claims he is the devil, so.
Yeah, but it just depends on if they actually agreed to anything, if he's coming back. I don't know. I mean,
MJF
because
is in the main event regardless.
Tony Khan did come on air and say that he feared for his life. And I don't know.
Who would MJF face in his last AEW match in Long Island?
If he's not signing.
Yeah. That's an indication that's his last match. He's going to WWE.
I don't know. The only person that makes sense if MJF decided to go over there would be CM Punk. Like, no one else makes sense.
Chris Jericho?
No. Adam Cole. Adam Cole. I don't know.
Adam Cole does make sense, though, right? If he's going
Yeah.
there.
When do you do the MJF Samoa Joe part 2? Because we did just have Samoa Joe get rid of his Ring of Honor television championship. He has to do that for a reason, right?
Yeah. So maybe he drops it to Samoa Joe in Long Island. Are we going to get 2 parts in New York? One in Long Island and then one in New York City?
I don't know.
Because we got MJF for Samoa Joe at Grand Slam. Now we're going to get MJF for Samoa Joe in Long Island.
Never know.
So, yeah.
All right. Well, the good thing about AEW and their pay-per-views is that they might not build very well, although in this case I think that this is one of their stronger looking pay-per-views on paper just by looking at it itself. They always deliver on actual show day. So I'm not gonna give them a whole lot of flack. I think they've actually done a pretty good job of building towards this, with a few exceptions. But the MJF thing is interesting. Swerve Strickland and Adam Page is interesting. I'm interested in seeing what they do with Tony Storm and Hikaru Shida. So I think it'll be a good show. What do you think?
Yeah, I think it'll be a good show too. And I'm still talking about at World's End, even though I'm from Long Island. I feel that Long Island crowds are not the greatest.
Oh,
Yeah, they're not the greatest. They don't come out sounding great. But hopefully we get a lot of people from the city. So
yeah. And with
that's
MJF coming out, it'll probably be a little bit better.
yeah, so we might get a little bit more reaction. So
All right, Geek, you said you had some stuff to plug, so let's
yeah.
do that before
So
we say goodbye.
all right. So I got Wrestling Is Now. I will be at December 2nd. It is at the Elks Lodge in Queensboro in Queens. And well, I just botched that. It's the Queensboro Elks Lodge in Queens, which is December 2nd, where Joey Conway will defend the title against Lindsay Dorado, WWE superstar, which should be an amazing match. We have a stat card, so make sure you buy your tickets. Ray, I hope to see you there, man. It's in Queens.
Cool beans. And
Yeah.
then
And then I got some stuff coming up on my channel, so make sure you tune into that. I've been doing a lot of food reviews, a lot of vlog style content, so I just want to put that out there. So
Geek is doing a little bit of everything nowadays.
everything, interviews, podcasting. I'm doing vlogs, food reviews. So make sure you check it. A little something for everybody right now on the Geeking Out channel. So
All right. Well, thank you so much for joining me and talking AEW. I had a really great time. We always have a great time when you're on the show. And everybody, just keep telling your friends about Peaches and Power Bombs. And we will see y'all next time. Bye.
Good night, sweet peach. It's time to go. Good night.